Hey guys, it's Leo. Sorry for the raspy voice. My throat is not in the best condition. I think I have the flu or something, and I'm not feeling my best. But I'm here today to talk a little bit more about Carol and Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to keep on doing reviews on every single week's episode, but I can't let this episode pass. Carol and Tuesday is being way too good. And at the same time, I also want to talk about a new theory that surfaced about Cure Cosmo, the fifth cure in Star Twinkle Purikua, that is going to appear in the mid-season this year. So if you're here just for the Cure Cosmo theory and talk, you can, I'm going to leave a timestamp in the comment box so you can just check it out. But if you're also watching Carole and Tuesday, please stay for my impressions on episode 2. By the way, Carole and Tuesday is being like one impressive show. Like, I was expecting it to be very good. Yes, I was. But I was not expecting it to be this good. And honestly, it's not only the best show of the season, at least so far, it's like on par with the best shows I've ever watched. At least the start is really being gorgeous and like I don't really know how things are going to keep up, but usually when we have like the greatest first episode, the second episode like kind of leaves something to be desired, and that wasn't the case with this. Actually, it was like even better. The second episode was even better than the first one. So since there are lots of things that I want to talk about, I am dividing them in topics. So the first one is the name of the episode. The first episode was called True Colors, which is a song by Cyndi Lauper, and the second episode is called Born to Run, which is a song by Bruce Springsteen. And well, I'm gonna be honest, I know some Bruce Springsteen songs because my sister is a fan of his, but I didn't know this song specifically. So after I watched Carole and Tuesday, I went to search for the song and I listened to it and I read the lyrics. And the song is a very rebellious one, at least lyrically. It's very rebellious and it's like you going to a different place and being totally out of the system, of out of everything that the system expects you to be, and you know you're breaking free from all of that, and that's on your true nature. That's the true nature of you, and that's why that person is singing about it. And I feel like it's not exactly what the show is about, but there are some parts that are really able to connect with the themes of the show. There's one part of the song in which the narrator of the song, can I call that the lyricist, I don't know, the narrator of the song is talking about running away with a girl, and you know, confronting things and such. And well, that has a lot to do with this episode. There's even a line in which Tuesday tells Carol that they're running a lot lately, and well, that has a lot to do with the song choice for the name of the episode. So before talking about Carol and Tuesday, the characters, I want to talk a little bit about Angela. Angela is a very interesting character, and in this episode there was a big photo shoot, and she changed. She had lots of different costumes. She was amazing. I loved that scene, and apart from that, it feels like she's a popular figure in Alba City. She is very popular, she is very big, she's very famous. What she wants to do is sing. She doesn't want to be a celebrity only. But it seems that in the world that Carol is and Tuesday is set, there aren't singers. The singers are just AI, artificial intelligence, and we meet a producer. We met him in the first episode, but in this episode, we were able to meet him a little more. We were able to get to know him better. And Angela talks to him, and he tells her that there is a pattern for creating songs, and I found that scene to be very interesting. He surrounds himself with AI. He doesn't work with people because he doesn't really like to work with people. He likes machines more, and she questions that. But that's to be understandable in a world like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are lots of people that would feel more at ease only with machines and not dealing with people, dealing with social situations. But Angela, she really wants to sing. She doesn't want to be a celebrity anymore. She wants to be a singer. And so I feel like she is breaking the mold a little bit. And even though the show portrays her as a big diva, at the same time, she's also fighting for what she wants to be and for something different and for doing something different. And she doesn't have this artsy process of creating a song. She just wants a song ready and delivered to her. But I feel like she wants to sing. She wants to express herself in a different way as well. So I'm pretty excited to see more of Angela's character. I think she's going to be a very interesting one. Apart from Angela, in this episode, we meet a DJ. I forgot his name. He has a different name, and all I remember about him is Fire. And the scene in which he was presented was very interesting, and it seems that he's very popular. And to be honest, the DJ role in the Carole and Tuesday world seems to be very close to what we have with big DJs like Avicii, Diplo, big DJs that we have nowadays. And so, I don't know where that character will stand because I don't know where a DJ fits the story, but he fits the entertainment world, and we're probably going to learn more about that through the course of the season. So I'm excited. There were other characters that appeared for the first time in this episode, but let's go to Carole and Tuesday themselves. In this episode, we got to learn more about both of them, even though what we learned wasn't a real surprise. We had a look into Carole's past and how she dealt with bullying when she was a kid, and I was like, go Carole. I was so happy with the way that she dealt with people picking on her. But with that scene, we were able to learn that she comes from an orphanage. She doesn't have parents. She never got to know her parents. And she's been surviving by herself for a long time. I'm not sure how old they are, but they might be like in their 90s or early 20s. So yeah, from her whole life, she's been alone and she's fighting. And what we also learned in this episode is that she goes from job to job. She's always trying from job to job to survive, and she's just surviving. Even though she loves music, she can't use this to make a living, so she has to do whatever she can. And so she goes into the most different jobs that you can imagine, as we saw in this episode. While Tuesday, on the other hand, I think they're playing a lot on how different they are, how apart they are, and how their experiences are different. Because Tuesday, she can't even organize a house. She doesn't know how to clean dishes, like most basic things she can't do because she always had someone to do it for her. So I feel like it's interesting because Carole never judges Tuesday because of that. She just understands where Tuesday comes from, but there isn't a real judgment there or a little bit of criticism into how she is and how she lived this sheltered life. And I felt like their relationship is very heartwarming. I really liked the scene in which both of them started talking about things they liked. That was so well written because we were able to learn a little bit more about each of them. At the same time, I felt like the narrative had lots of poetry in it because, like, Carole saying that she likes the smell of the sea when she is driving or surfing that skate thing of hers. Tuesday saying that she likes the name of her guitar. I mean, little things like that. They give heart, they give life to the characters, and that was very, very, very nice. And then both of them decided to go to a new different place so that Carole could play the piano and they would perform their song, The Loneliest Girl, together with a real piano, not what is that called? An electric piano? I don't know the name in English of the little piano that Carole has. But then when they got there, they were able to sneak past the guards, not really sneak. I mean, Carole can be very persuasive. And then when they got there, they were able to deliver the most heartwarming performance. It was very beautiful. And one of the interesting things about the song is that it's very quickly recognizable. When they started singing in the second episode, I was like, oh my god, I remember this song just from the first episode. Once they sung it once, and I remember it, even though I watched the first episode twice. But I remember that song. It's easily recognizable. It's emotional. It really has like an emotional power. At least to me, it's a beautiful song, and I like the lyrics. I like how they sing. Their voices are so beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Oh, and one thing I forgot to say, they mentioned Cyndi Lauper again in this episode, especially Tuesday. But then they mentioned another singer who's called Crystal. And when they mentioned it, I first thought of Crystal K, which is a Japanese singer. But then I went to search about her on the internet, and there's no information. But then I learned that there is going to be a character in this show called Crystal. She's going to be a pop star, she's going to be a singer, and she's going to be voiced by Sakamoto Maya. And so, yes, they're talking about this Crystal. So coming back to the performance was filmed, and then it was shown to everybody. So because everyone seems to be connected in this world, and I felt that everything happened really easily. And I don't know if it was just like a way that they wrote things so that they could spread the word about Carole and Tuesday very fast in the show itself, or if it's just that sharing things on the internet in this world in Alba City is something that's very easily and reachable. Because you can just put things on the internet, but that doesn't mean people are going to see it. So I don't really know where this stands. So I forgot the name of the character, Robbie. I think it was Robbie. He was filming both of them, and he also got emotional with their performance. And then we went back to the character that appeared in the first episode. I didn't really know who he was going to be. I thought that he was going to be someone who was very touched by them, but instead he is someone who's going to be directly linked to Carole and Tuesday, because he's going to be their manager. And well, it was interesting to see how quickly moved he was by their song, even though he was drunk. And when he went after them, I felt like, okay, it's nice that now they're going to have a manager and everything, but I felt like he was very disrespectful in the way that he acted. And it's kind of understandable, being the person he is and his manners, but at the same time, I felt really uncomfortable watching him break in Carole's house. Like, it was really uncomfortable seeing that. And sometimes narratives, they play into those kind of things that can be really seen as negative when their intentions are good, and then it's excusable. And I find that really strange. Like, I can't really understand. Like, he was breaking through Carol's house. They were both very scared of him, but then it's simply going to be okay since he's going to be their manager, and he's probably going to work so that they can be famous in the future. I don't know. That was really strange. So the second episode of Carole and Tuesday was magical. In the second episode, we were also able to see the opening for the first time, and the opening was lovely. I love the song. Like, the song is really good, and I really like the idea of the way they played it out. I mean, the whole animation of the opening is really nice. We were able to see Carole Tuesday first, and then Carole, just going through the streets and walking around. And I loved how Carole was just, twirling around, like feeling the sun and feeling the wind on her face. It was so nice. And then when they both meet, it's interesting because the art style changes a little bit and it becomes more cartoonish, and I don't know, it felt so magical. And I really liked how they just start dancing on the street and people start dancing with them. It just reminds me of musicals, and I love musicals. I mean, this show is really, really surprising me. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about Carole and Tuesday. Now let's jump into Cosmo's theory. The Star Twinkle original soundtrack is going to be released And the track list was also released on the internet. There is a very peculiar track called The Universe Phantom Thief. Blue Cat appears. For now, we know two things about Cure Cosmo, three things about Cure Cosmo. One is that she is going to be part of the Star Twinkle team. Two, her color is blue. And three, she is a cat. I mean, we don't really know if she's a cat, but she is cat themed. So there is one person in the opening that appears there, but we don't know who she is. We don't know her identity yet. We know that there's a blue light on her when she appears, like the background's blue, the light's blue, but it's a dark blue, and it seems Cure Cosmo is light blue, or she's probably going to be a rainbow cure, the second rainbow cure maybe. I don't know. When we learned about Cosmo's when we learned about Cosmo's existence, there were lots of theories thinking that Cure Cosmo could be a villain. Now we have the full villain team assembled and we don't really know who she is, apart from the fact that she also appears in the opening and she appears in a different way than the villains. I also remember that when she appeared, when we learned about her, Venice Joe on Twitter told me that he thought that she was going to be somewhat like a thief, more or less like Carmen Sandiego. And it seems that he is right. Because, well, if the track is called Phantom Thief, if there's Phantom Thief in the title track, she's probably going to be after something. And, you know, Phantom Thieves in media are usually those types of thieves that steal things, but they don't steal for themselves. They steal because there is a reason for them to steal, maybe for good and maybe for reparation, kind of like Robin Hood did. And so she's probably one of them, and I believe that she's going to be after the Pens, or maybe after Fua. I don't know. And so she might be an antagonist for the Star Twinkle girls because she has to tie in the story somehow. She has to connect with the story somehow. If she is trying to steal something that's not connected to the story, I don't know how this is going to be. So we know that when the 12 pens are together, miracles can happen and something very powerful is going to be born. And that's probably why she's after them. She must have a reason to search for them. And so if there are like hints of her appearing, maybe we might see her soon enough. Maybe in May episodes. We're close to knowing the titles of the May episodes, and I don't know, this might be the thing. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for Cure Cosmo, and I'm very excited to learn more about her. Anyways, guys, this video is long. I know, I'm sorry for my voice. I'm sorry for taking so long. But anyway, I just needed to talk about Carole on Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to keep on doing those reviews until the end, but until now, perfect show. And anyways, please leave a comment with your opinions on Carole on Tuesday, on Cure Cosmo's theory, and let's keep our talk in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye!